Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everyone. My name is Nur Shasha Adani. Today, me and my group mates would like to talk about our report writing, which is about the impacts of removing national examination on student habits. As we all know, there's a big change in our schools. For a long time, students in Malaysia had to take big exams like UPSR and PT3, but now those exams are gone. Instead, teachers use classroom-based assessment (PBD). The idea is to stop focusing only on tasks and start focusing more on the students' happiness and their real-world skills. However, this change has caused what we call a trust deficit. Many people are worried, without one big national task, how do we know if a student is actually doing well? Parents and teachers are concerned that without these clear goals, our students might not be as competitive as students in other countries. We are losing our measuring stick for success. Because of these issues, our report writing is to see how this change affects students in the long run. We want to know, is this a new way of grading actually helping? Or is it making it harder for students to prepare for their future? We want to find out if this new system is really better for our education.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Emilia Imelda binti Muhammad Arshad. Today I'm going to talk about the cause of the problem, which is visible reduction in academic rigor and intensive study, and effects of the problem. Examination used to serve as motivation for students and educational institutions such as school. Absence of this examination reduces the motivation for them to study and do the preparation before the big exams. As we know, big exams will lead the students to manage their time wisely and maintain consistent study. But when the big exams are not happening, they feel less urgent to study and understand the subjects, which leads them to procrastinate to do their homeworks or assignments. They believe that there was no passing standard as strict as government's national examination like SPM. During SPM days, when you fail in history or Bahasa Melayu paper, you can't get your SPM certificate. Next, I'm going to talk about the effects of the problem. One of the problems is uneven educational outcomes due to the inconsistent assessment of students' potential. This becomes challenging for school and government to precisely gauge progress or guarantee the uniform educational quality across various areas in the absence of standardized benchmark. Moreover, the lack of exam pressure leads to poor time management. Students will spend their time by scrolling social media and playing online games. This will increase screen time, which they will get lack of sleep. Later, they will get daytime fatigue and poor health habits, which is not good for them. A lack of sleep can have negative effects on anyone, but for teens, their brains and bodies are still developing. The consequences of sleep deprivation and daytime sleepiness are especially problematic to college students and can result in lower grade point averages, increased risk of academic failure, compromised learning, and impaired mood. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Alia Maisara, and I would like to present one of the possible solutions of the impact of removing national examination on student habits. One of the solutions is to provide students with opportunity to demonstrate their understanding by not relying solely high-stake examination. High-stake exams usually only measure the student memorization under time pressure, and many of them not reflect in long-term understanding or application their knowledge. Next is teacher make an alternative and continuous assessment that help to verify students' deep understanding. Why I said so? It because ongoing assessment allow teachers to observe learning progress over time and evaluate how well students interpret and apply the concept that they learn. Other than that, making students produce artifacts to provide them a clear evidence of their learning progress, such as doing projects, report, and presentation, shows students' thinking process, problem-solving skills, and ability to synthesize the important information. Without artifact, comprehension cannot be verified because teacher cannot confirm that students have well understanding by assigned reading unless students produce written reflection, summarize, or related tasks. Besides, student regular demonstration of understanding not only for teachers to verify their understanding, it also can create a record of academic rigor. Regular demonstrations of understanding is a collection of student work over time document, consistent engagement and intellectual effort across the co-curriculum, and academic rigor is based on high order thinking which is not overload. As example by Drager at 2013 emphasized that rigor involves analysis, evaluation and critical thinking rather than long or numerous assignment. The last but not least is teacher and administrator must align assessment with learning objective rather than using simple assessment shortcut that make the tasks are directly linked to the learning goal, which teacher can accurately measure whether students have achieved the intended outcomes, avoiding superficial assessment method or not. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Siti Nur Natasha. Thanks to my group member Noor Alia for presenting her first possible solution on the effect of removing national examinations on student habits. Now I would like to add on the second possible solution, which is reforming the assessment system into a school-based assessment. This assessment system can be implemented by using other alternative assessments, such as quizzes like Kahoot, where teachers will prepare a certain amount of questions based on their topics, and the students can answer the questions directly online, and they will be graded based on the marks that they get from their quiz. Other than that, teachers can assign students with projects where they will be graded based on how well did they present their projects, such as posters or even mini projects. Additionally, students can also use innovative tools such as systems that is built in online, and they can learn on how to develop certain types of skills using that system online. When it is implemented, students can gain many advantages for themselves, such as it can boost their motivation and also their engagement on the certain subject, such as when the students before this, they feel not very interested on the subject, or they feel like they don't understand the subject. Through all this assessment, it can make them think more and understand properly about the subject, which makes it more fun and engaging for the students themselves. Other than that, it can also strengthen their soft skills, such as their communication skills and also their thinking skills and their listening skills and many more, which is very important for the students' future. Despite its advantages, this assessment types also comes with its limitations, where teachers may face heavy workload because of the different assessment types that they need to learn first, and they need to prepare for their students in order to grade them. Other than that, students can also feel very overwhelmed because the high volume of work that they need to complete in order to get their best grade and pass the subjects.
To conclude, let's look at the results of this change. On one hand, removing the UPSR and PT3 exams had made students feel better and less stressed. However, there is a behavior shift happening. Without a pressure of a big exam, many students are losing their study discipline. We are seeing more procrastination because the push to study every day isn't there anymore. This leads to a major worry called the SPM gap. Since students don't have big national tests in primary or lower secondary school, they might not be ready for SPM when they hit Form 5. They may lack the inner drive and the toughness needed to pass such a high-stake exam because they haven't practiced working under pressure before. So what is our strategic recommendation? We believe schools need to do more than just give out simple assignments. We need to move toward active cognitive engagement. This means using different kinds of tests that make students think deeply and show they really understand the subject rather than just finishing a task to get it done. In the end, it's about balance. We want our students to be healthy and happy, but we also need them to be academically strong. By finding this balance, we can make sure Malaysia's future generation stays competitive with the rest of the world. That is all from our group. Thank you so much for listening.